Good afternoon, Griffin fans. We are here for our second edition of the Coaches Check-In. Today we have Seton Hill softball coach Jess Strong. Jess, say hi to everybody.
Good morning.
Jess, how have you been holding up? We've been, 2 weeks now, a week and a half, or 800 weeks. I don't know where we're at in the quarantine because I haven't really gone outside of my house, so I don't know if it's day or night. I assume that it's afternoon when I'm releasing this, but what have you been doing?
Just trying to stay busy with what I can. Kind of reflecting on the short season we had and looking towards that future dynamic, assuming that we'll have the student athletes back here in August and then gearing up for our fall session.
Coach, where were you and how did you find out about the season being canceled?
So Friday morning, I was checking emails because we actually had a game scheduled for that afternoon with Westchester. So I just wanted to make sure we had the best information as best as we could. So I think it was around 8:30 a.m., 9 a.m. I saw that email from our athletic director dictating the overall direction of the PSAC about the cancellation of games. So at that point, sadly, I brought our team together around 10 a.m. and kind of broke the news to them. A lot of bittersweet emotions there, given and thinking about all the effort we had put into the season to have it essentially cut short on us. But I think it just also allowed us to kind of reflect on the privileges and opportunities we did have because our team actually got down to Florida. Others didn't. We had a home opener. Not many other teams did. So it was bittersweet. But that happened that first Friday before most of this quarantine started.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize they just think we show up and play games. And that's not true at all. The logistics involved of setting up the field, dealing with the visiting team, dealing with umpires and things like that. We didn't get any real heads up on the news that everything was canceled. It just kind of happened. And was Westchester actually on their way to to Seton Hill at the time?
Westchester had actually been informed they couldn't take their Florida trip, so they had actually come up on Wednesday. We were able to work an opportunity for them to play Walsh University, West Liberty University, and then they were going to finish with us on Friday. So they had already been here since Wednesday and competed in two other contests. So Westchester was the last team to play on my field this year. We were hoping to get in one more set of games on Friday, but did get that mandate to cancel games. So they were already here, but they had already had a couple series ahead of time. So then they made their way back towards the Philly area where they're out of.
Coach, how have you been staying in contact with your team?
Quick calls, quick text messages. We've had a couple group meetings just like this where we hopped on to our Google Hangouts and just had some conversation. Really right now focusing on how do we transition and work on the new academics that we're working with an online world. So kind of helping and guiding them, also encouraging them to stay connected with each other, just simply by having them also have conversations. So they kind of have a weekly requirement to talk to me and then also a weekly requirement to meet and reach out to one of their teammates as well. So one cool thing as well, we stayed connected the other day. If you didn't see the post that you shared, we had a virtual catch. So trying to keep ourselves entertained in many ways.
Yeah, it's been a hit on social media. So I'm encouraging every team at Seton Hill to, if your players are interested in doing anything like that, please continue to do so. We have a responsibility to keep our fans engaged. In fact, we've been doing a hashtag Griffs Win replay on Facebook. We showed the 2018 volleyball win over Gannon in the NCAA semis, had over 1,000 views on it.
Yeah, I was one of them last night, right?
Yeah.
I got running against Gannon for football, I guess.
I don't know why I picked Gannon the last two times. I don't know. I
think one of our rivals.
Get away from Gannon University and stop picking on them for our next post. But you've been reflecting on this past season, however short that it actually was. What was your favorite? What's your favorite memory of the 2020 season?
If I think about it, we've had a couple firsts, and one of the first that comes to my mind was Ashley Bain found a home run when we were down in Florida, Myrtle Beach. And if you know Ashley Bain, she's 100-pound soaking wet, and it was just awesome to see her put some solid contact on that ball and let it fly. she had another time where she actually hit the top of the fence as well. So we were reeling for her to maybe get that second one, but turned into a stand-up double. But it was just great to see that. Ashley's one of our seniors, and had the opportunity to work with her for 2 years. And she really just bought into the system and always was like, hey, coach, what can I do more to help you guys out, help the team out? So it's just amazing to like have her have that awesome moment. I told her as she was rounding the base, I was like, hey, take it in, take it in. I was like, you earned this moment. So she was very excited. One of her friends as well, Jenna Osakowitz, actually found a way to hit a ball over the fence in the same trip down to Myrtle. So they have a cool little photo together. So just small things like that were very awesome to see. Some of the firsts, we wish we had a few more firsts along the way, but it was nice to have that as one of the memories for the year.
Yeah, definitely. That's I've heard that hitting a home run is a very awesome feeling. I have, of course, I used to play slow pitch softball in the summers,
Okay.
and I've hit 2 home runs. Unfortunately, they were both for outs because we had wasted all of our home runs for both of the times that I did this. But I do know what it feels like. It's an awesome feeling when the ball, you hit the ball at the bat, and it's like you didn't even swing. It's a perfect launch, and it's something to remember. And I'm glad that they got to experience that.
Yeah, it was awesome. We have a lasting memory with the picture of a couple of them too, so that was cool.
That's great. How has this, because we're in kind of a dead period now with recruiting, and a lot of people don't quite understand recruiting. It happens. It's a continuous thing. You're always recruiting, and that's just the nature of being a coach at the collegiate level. How has the dead period affected how you're going about things?
The only real thing we can't do is go out and evaluate at that point. Recruiting is always about developing and continuing to foster relationships. So the same thing that I'm doing with my team is what I've been actively reaching out to some of those 2020 recruits that already committed coming in next year, excited for them to grow the program and then beyond. So just kind of staying in touch. A lot of the same messages is like, yeah, we can't do softball. Yeah, we're trying to figure out when they're going to let us play again. So they're all eager to get back at it. But the nice thing about it is had a couple opportunities to see most of them in the fall or the past summer. So just kind of reassuring them of, hey, we'll get back to some normalcy. When we get there, just make sure you're taking care of your academics, because no matter where you're going to end up, that's going to be putting yourself in that best situation. So just continuing to have conversations, text messages, phone calls, whatever is working.
Coach, what advice did you give your team? Because switching from season to, okay, you're out of season and you're not on campus, you're going to be online, you're going to be sitting at home again. I know what I've done is basically lounge around and done nothing, but my playing days are long past. So what advice have you given to your team?
Take care of your academics to start with. That's always going to be a message. We think about maintaining the academic standards of not only Seton Hill, but making sure you're staying eligible for the upcoming year so you can continue to compete. But then just find what that daily routine is going to be and write it down. The big thing is we're able to achieve things when we put it in the forefront of our mind. And sometimes you do that by just jotting it down on the paper. So just give yourself some daily tasks, some daily goals. Additionally, if you have the opportunity, start doing some reps of what you can. We were recently allowed to start implementing some CARA hours that are non-athletic based. So it'll allow some of our student athletes to communicate with us and kind of go through some logistic stuff that could help them improve as well. So I'm excited to see what they choose to do. And I think this is the make or break time of you control your effort, your attitude. So what are you going to put forward? When we're all dealing with the same type of situation, even though our individual circumstances might all be a little bit different.
All right, let's switch from the team aspect to the personal aspect. Coach, what have you been doing? How have you been spending your days?
I'm a cleaner, so I'm finding anything and everything to clean. I have about 50 boxes still down in my basement, and I've given myself the goal to at least get 2 boxes done within a 3-day period. So just been finding lots of memories through that. Some of it, I found a box of some of my old photos, and I questioned my judgment on style and hairdos from way back when. But just been bringing up some good thoughts, good memories of not only some of my playing days, but some of my family. So trying to stay connected with them as well. I have a family member out towards Idaho, got a family member in Nevada, Indiana, and Georgia. So we just try to stay connected as best we can throughout all of that. So it's kind of interesting hearing all of their little personal stories as well. But always excited just once again to stay connected.
Coach, I know that you're a bit of a gamer.
Oh, yeah.
So what games have you picked up?
I got my Xbox Pass going on, the Game Pass, so I've been hitting up some of the retro ones. Did some Banjo-Kazooie the other day, so I'm getting through that. I found an online emulator, so I've been hitting up some of like the SNES games. I found like an airplane game the other day, so just there's no game I won't try to play, but those have been a few of my favorites at the moment.
Are you a big Fortnite player?
I have not. My team has been attempting to get me to play it, but I told them I don't want to like make you feel bad when I beat you. So that's why we just left that challenge there.
Well, I think you have to, because as I play Fortnite with all of my friends from back home in West Virginia, and the thing, we haven't been winning much lately, but the thing is that everybody in the world's playing pretty much all the time now.
Yeah.
That if you get third, that's not terrible. Okay, it's not that bad.
Gotcha. I might have to try it.
Have you picked up any new hobbies rather than, of course, you like to game, you're cleaning? Any new hobbies or TV shows, any Netflix stuff that you're currently watching?
So there's a lot of like free trials right now with different networks. So like the recent one I found is like CBS All Access. They'll give you a free month trial. So I've been a huge fan of the Star Trek stuff. So they got a new series called Picard on. So I have literally watched every single episode of that already. But then they have another show called Young Sheldon, always a Big Bang Theory person, like love that show as well. So I've got that series going now. So my friend, that's my roommate, is always like, do you move during the day? I was like, yeah, from the recliner to the couch to get food to the recliner to the couch.
I started watching Picard too. I was really impressed at the visuals of it.
Yeah.
It's like watching a movie every single episode. It's beautiful.
Yeah, agreed. They have the predecessor one as well, Discovery. I like that one, and I would agree the visuals are pretty good too. They got 2 seasons of that, so if you have some opportunities, check that one out too.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Coach, when this ends, and eventually this is going to end, I think we have to keep that in mind. This is not a forever thing. Eventually it's going to end. What have you not been able to do that you're going to just rush out and do as soon as we get done with all of this?
As soon as I can, just getting that opportunity to look at that future 21 class. I think the big thing for me right now is just an opportunity to see them play. For right now, this would have been their high school season, so that would have been one of the good opportunities towards playoffs. So we'll just see whenever that NCAA ban is removed for the recruiting aspect, and also kind of see where the various high schools are at with what they decide in the long run. Of course, we're hoping that summer ball will kick up and give me some opportunities there. But just very excited to be able to go and interact with them again and continue to just kind of develop those relationships. We got a lot of people eager to get to campus, so excited as well when later down the road we'll have an opportunity to allow them to come meet our admission staff and get a tour of that. So just kind of that next step of the things that we can't do while the university itself is shut down.
All right, Coach, thanks for coming and sitting down. I hope everything's okay with you and your family. I hope that we get through this and we come out stronger than ever.
Yep. Pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks, Coach.